Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and one of the great things the internet has brought us, and I think everyone out there can pretty much agree, is pornography. It's fantastic. Shit is literally filmed everywhere and anywhere. It amazed me when I was living in Los Angeles and I happened to be thumbing through a couple scenes for research purposes, nothing else. Nothing else. And I came across a video that started off in the park, literally the block over from where I lived. I was starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, they're in my neighborhood. That's fucking crazy. But it doesn't always have the same effect on some people. In fact, in Guadalajara, Mexico, there's currently an uproar over a porn star by the name of Janith Rubio, who posted to her 106,000 Twitter followers some shots from an upcoming porn scene she filmed in a cemetery. Now, Guadalajara is actually more of a Christian-based city than Catholic-based city in terms of its religious population and which religion is more dominant. But a lot of people are not happy, and they are very much pulling out the Old Testament shit here. Like, don't you have any respect? My family could be laid to rest there, blah, 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 blah. But they keep saying in the reports I've read, keep saying that it took place in a historic graveyard, but they never actually talk about the graveyard. They never name the graveyard directly. So I looked it up. I have a feeling that she shot this porno in the Santa Paula Cemetery, which is the historic graveyard in Guadalajara. And here's the crazy thing about it, right? It's shot in broad daylight, right? I would show you guys pictures, but I don't want my channel shut down, and I don't want my channel shut down. But they shot it in broad daylight. And what's weird about that is the fact that there are security guards on site. It's fenced in. It's protected. It's patrolled. And yet somehow they were able to go in there in the middle of the day and fuck on tombstones and in mausoleums without anyone catching them. And it would have been at least 3-4 people. Probably 3. You had the 2 stars, Janith Rubio, the dude, and then the producer of the film, whose name is, I'm not kidding you, Sex Mex. Now, I don't know if that's the name of the company or that dude's name. The articles I've read have been very unclear on that particular issue. But either way, Sex Mex was involved. And he's saying that you don't know where it was filmed, trying to indicate that it didn't happen at this particular historic cemetery. Now, some people on Twitter, doing what people on Twitter do, which would be narc, they went to the city, and they demanded a response. And the mayor chimed in and was like, whoa, they never got permits for this. We're now investigating. And if they are charged and convicted of having sex and filming these scenes without a permit inside of this cemetery, they face up to 2 years in prison. 2 years in prison for fucking in a cemetery. Honestly, fucking in a cemetery, I think, is really, really, really punishment enough. Especially if either one of them are Catholic and totally believe the Day of the Dead shit, right? Like, totally believe that stuff. It's one of those moments when you're just like, you're gonna fuck on someone's abuela, and, their spirit's gonna come out with the fucking pan and smack the shit out of you, right? He's gonna be releasing his jizz, and all of a sudden, its spirit's gonna come out of there going like, no, you didn't. I'm haunting you now, motherfucker. Like, that's what it feels like to me, even though it probably wouldn't actually happen. But look, I understand the idea of porn stars, like, getting a little bit exhibition-y in terms of where they film. Lord knows I've seen some stuff shot in some weird locations. The idea of them fucking in a grave star, it doesn't bother me at all. Fucking a graveyard all you want. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But then again, I'm not a religious person. I can understand, though, why people would be upset. All right. Like, if one of my relatives was buried in this tombstone or in this graveyard, and then later on I happen to come across a video, like I'm sitting there, I got my fucking bottle of Jergens, I got my fucking, my tissue, I'm ready for a good old cry. and I'm watching that, and I'm like, oh, that looks kind of familiar. That looks kind of, oh no, Granny. No, it's my grandmother. You're not going to be into it. Right? So you gotta think of the people. You gotta think of the people. They may not like that. But by the looks of it, a lot of people out there were actually genuinely upset at this particular thing. And I'm sure had this happened here, there would be similar outcries, if not greater outcries. Like, not too far from my apartment, there is a Catholic school, right? And a Catholic church. And it's also a Catholic nursing home. There's a lot of stuff. But behind it is a nun graveyard. And it dates all the way back to like the late 1800s when the place was built, you know, and I frequently go walking through there because it's just relatively peaceful. It's a nice place, you know, and just recently I was there and there was actually a fresh grave, which was freaky as shit. All right. I'm sitting there going like, all right, you know, come out or nothing. But the whole point of that is though, is like if someone were to go over there and boff on these grave sites, like even I would think that's a little bit too much. And I do, like, again, I'm not religious, but it's like this cemetery, if it's the Santa Paula cemetery, then there's no one living there. There's no one living there anyway. It's been closed since like the 1800s. But if it's a new cemetery, I can understand why people are really upset. So anyway, I am curious. Like, does this bother you at all? Does this offend your sensibilities? Does this make you go, even I wouldn't jerk off to that. And I've jerked off to fucking furry porn. That's not me. Those are your words. But I am curious to know what you guys think. Be sure to let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Mundane Matt. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out my vlog channel. Check out my movie news channel, 3 Buck Theater right here. I get all the fresh details. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Peace out.